You guys, this has to be probably top 5 most favorite horses of mine we've ever had in the history of the 9 years of doing this. We call this little horse Buckwheat. We call him Bucky for short. He came in and he basically, the note that came with him said he was a Spanish bred horse. What I believe is he's probably an Azteca, which is a quarter horse and an Andalusian cross. He's got a lot of quarter horse influence to him. He clearly has a little Andalusian influence to him. I feel like the neck, the head, a lot of the things. When he came in, we rode him and he was super crippled. As you guys saw, Tyler was able to put a little standing type cast on the back left foot because it's broke off into the quick. And we were able to put shoes on the front with some pads. Because unfortunately he has been severely neglected foot treatment wise. I do call this horse completely sound at this point. While I do think the back foot could potentially be sore again if you stop taking care of it, I think that it's not going to be a long-term issue. I'll show you guys the crack in his front right foot. So we've got it pretty much taken care of. Buckwheat, sir, you're one of the most handsome little men in the whole world. We just have a little vet wrap cast on the back. Underneath it, it's got a little gel pad. Next week when he comes, he's going to bond a little shoe on it. As you can see, when they tell me they're Spanish bred, I'm guessing. I mean, a Spanish bred horse is what the note says, but you can tell from the horse's head and neck and just the way that he carries himself, he has some Spanish influence. So I don't think for one second that it was a lie. I think he is 100% at least half Andalusian. I would say the other half is Creole or maybe quarter horse, just making him a little Aztec. Dara's going to trot him around and lope him both directions for us. I would say that he's maybe a little bit too much for a kid, but I think anybody with any experience would have no problem. The horse has absolutely no setback. He has absolutely no buck, and he has absolutely no rear up. And he is pretty fancy broke. Nice stop. Yeah, he wants to have wants to be just one hand broke. And again, the foot is already a million times better. The only reason this horse was sold for slaughter is when he went through the sell barn, everybody in the world was interested in him. But unfortunately, he was off in the back left, and it was because that foot is broke off. There is a video of Tyler working on the foot, so it's public knowledge. You can go watch it. You can see exactly what was going on with the foot, and it will take just a little bit of time for that to grow out. If he steps on a rock, he might be a little sore again, but picks up both leads. Absolutely perfect. Really breaks at the pole, has a nice way of going, and again is one of the top 5. I would say of all the horses we've ever had, he would probably be top 2. And it takes a lot for me to say that. My husband priced him stupid cheap. You should have bought him, because you're not going to ever buy him for that price again. I think that he's a true Azteca. You can just, and I had somebody kind of, well, how do you know? And how do you, okay, well, then what the hell would you call him? Like, Dara, you ever rode a quarter horse like that? I think he has a lot of quarter horse influence, or a lot of cow ponies in Mexico are called Criollos, and he's got a lot of Criollo influence, but those ears though, those ears. You guys, when he gets to really staring at something and he gets those ears, they just and it's like straight up. And here in a second, he'll do it and he can almost make his ear tips touch. I mean, but he's about 14'1", he might be 14'2" hands tall, and he weighs just over 1,200 pounds, and he can gain weight. The horse probably could gain 100 pounds pretty easy. He could gain 150 pounds if you had him with a lot of feed and muscle. But I fully stand by that he is 50% Andalusian and 50% quarter horse. I do believe he is a Spanish bred Azteca. I do not believe him to be a quarter horse, which means I wouldn't purchase him if you're wanting a barrel horse. But I do think he can rope calves. I think aside from roping calves, he could probably do a lot of other great things. The little Aztec crosses are wonderful cow horses. They're wonderful calf roping horses. I actually have a friend of mine that I know one or two people that have professionally rodeoed on some, you know, professionally rodeoed on some Aztec crosses. And they just have a little kinder eye. They're just a really great horse. And as you can see, he's now standing on that foot and resting the other. So that's already getting better. At this point, we just need to let that foot grow out. We'll keep it in one of these little standing type cast until it continues to grow out. But they should have bought him when my husband priced him. I tell people, you can buy things from Jacob a hell of a lot cheaper than you can buy them from me. I'm just going to take them right here. Will you just lope him one more time each direction? Absolutely. He did. She already loped him both directions, but we have no problem showing you because he's fantastic at it. He's fantastic at it, and he's absolutely automatic on both leads. And he's just a good horse. And I do believe they said he was 12 years old. So he's a wonderful age, and he's going to last somebody a long time. Right there, stop him. Bear, do not train. One hand broke. Bear said that he was twaining. Get over here, ding dong. I told him earlier that his training methods were barbaric. Absolutely automatic on both leads. Big stop. And he's one hand broke. So I stand behind him. One of the nicest horses we've ever had on this property. On to the next one. Yeah, I mean, Kathy, anybody that has any clue about anything Spanish bred would know this horse has got some Andalusian in the woodpile. And the thing is it's fantastic because I would much rather, if I was an Andalusian person, this is the kind of horse that I'd be like, yes, our breed claims this one. Yes, our genetics claim one that is this. I mean, just automatic on his leads. One hand broke, big stop, wants to do everything right. Just a beautiful specimen all the way around. Doesn't matter if he's a Heinz 57 mutt. If I was going to do the, what do they call it? The designer breeds. We make a joke out of it because every once in a while we'll get a hater on here that, well, how do you know? Here's the thing. If I was going to do Heinz 57 mutt crosses, this is what I would want every one of them to turn out like. I would call it designer breeds, and people would line up down the road over and over and over again to buy them because horses like this, you just can't. Hi. He said, hello, woman. He said, I'd like you to just be nice to my snoot. Oh, I don't even think he's that old. I don't think he's 12. I think he's probably closer to 10. Yeah, this horse has not grooved down yet. And of course, this horse is probably coming 9 on a good day. If I would have mouthed him, I would have called him 8. So I don't think for 1 second he's 12 years old. He has no groove. No groove and too much cup in the bottom. So you can take it for what it's worth, but... Oh, he's delicious! But I'll tell you, the horse has a lot of presence to him because when Dara went to step on him, she was a little bit like, I don't know what this is. He's not a big horse, but let me tell you, standing next to him, he feels like a mass. I mean, he does, doesn't he? Like he's got that energy to where when you walk up to him,
little man, but he got a big man.
He has a lot of energy. And when Dara walked him out here, she was like, okay, what am I? Nope, he's fantastic. I watched them ride him in Pitkin, and most of the boys down there they're not the kind of people that can make one look good. Yeah, they just, I mean, honestly, I've had some horses that I loved here go there and do dumb shit because they don't know. The problem with him and Retrograde side by side is Retrograde would just walk right over the top of him. Retrograde is this big. Retrograde is this big. I bet you this little horse hit in 14 one hands, maybe 14 two. I don't know. We'll stick him when Dara gets him up there. He's a little man, but he weighs 1,200 pounds. Yeah. Him is just a widow version. That head, though. And Dara's 5'9", so sometimes I've got to get used to her being tall because I'm used to everybody being a midget. But he's sure not very big, you guys. But any man, I mean, my husband could ride him, and he's 6'2" and 250 something. And he was fantastic for the farrier all the way around. You guys saw the phone quack and fall out and scare him to death. He never set back. This is an unproblematic. He is stunning. Is it a cookie? Yeah. Is it, give him a tootsie. He just. Oh, that's nice. He didn't even need a sniff. He knew exactly what that was.
That's why he kept doing that, and he'd look at me like.
Well, we've been yesterday Tyler kept calling him buckwheat, so we've been calling him Bucky. Tell him I like boops and the snoot and the kisses. Yeah, those teeth are just. He's got little man teeth. I would say. He's not. I just think to be 12, he would already have at least 2 years of groove, so he's not very old. I would say if I'm out there. He's already standing beautiful. I just love him. All right, you guys, like I said, should have bought him from my husband, because now you can't hardly buy him for that. So, what is it? On to the next one. On to the next one. He is stunning.